Goma. My name is Abel Simiu, and today we are talking mental health, being the World Mental Health Day. I'm privileged to have with me a DJ and a broadcast sound engineer, and we'll be discussing issues around the creative space and mental health, because it's one of the key sectors among the youth and how it's being affected, how the stakeholders have been affected by mental health. Karibu brother.
Asante sana.
Thank you Vycek for creating time.
Yeah, man.
Salimia watu, wambie pengine ni nani, watu wenye wanaweza kosa kujua.
Yeah, true. Like you said, I'm Vycek Sitati. I'm a broadcast technician, and I'm also a DJ. And I'm also privileged to be here. It's been a while, Maze. So yeah. Thank you so much
Asante
for the invite. Yeah.
So probably we kick off. How is the creative space in Kenya, and probably more specifically in Bungoma? How yes, creative space equals how is the space?
Yeah. So far, I'd say, well, we're not badly off as a people of Bungoma in the creative sector. Pale TikTok ukiingia unachiki wenyeji wengi sana. Na wengi nikicheki ni wase huko tu jamaa kwa Malakisi pale kwa Kewana chunga ng'ombe, lakini hapo TikTok. So na ukitembea around unaona, that's one thing I'd say I'd big up the government for, because ukitembea around huko ndani everywhere kuna cable internet. So we are lucky, we are privileged with that. So naweza sema we are ahead. Yes. We are ahead of
other places, and we have actually talented people in the space.
Your Western basically in everything. Tukienda football, rugby, music, DJing, arts, just mention it. Western, we are ahead always. Kwa talent, Western to compare. That's one thing I can say.
Sawa. So we get into mental health. Now, when I was researching for this, one thing nilipata ni kwamba nilikuwa na try to understand what is mental health, na probably how do we fit in as people, particularly in our various spaces. Now, what came up is mental health ni the social, emotional and psychological well-being. Venye tu mtu ana feel.
Yeah.
Je, in the creative space now in Kenya, and zile sheria zenye umetuwekea, do you feel that talent iko hand in hand na what people put in is the same as the returns they tend to get?
No, not at all, man. Kwa hiyo tungekuwa, people would be, I know there are some people who are living off like whatever they are doing talent wise, but it's not easy, man. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Before tumekuwa tukitegemea YouTube and all those other platforms, but for sure tunajua hailipi hivyo. So generally naweza sema there is no link between talent na gava or government, the government bodies that are supposed to be in charge per se, hatuna hiyo link. Utapata policies are being made, but no talent is involved in
the creation of policies.
Yeah.
Okay, before we go to the policy section, probably one thing what to understand ni kwamba for many people, probably the entry point, and probably even before tuende kwa story ya entry point, when you go back, we realize that unemployment is an issue.
Yeah.
And now the survival base for creatives is the next phase of survival, and to get into the creative space.
Yeah.
So probably how was your journey? What led you first to get into DJing? Because for me, the first time I interacted with you, it was DJ Vycek. But today you specifically told me to address you as Vycek Sitati.
Yes.
Why the change, and what actually motivated you to get into DJing?
Thank you so much for the question, man. So we all know COVID happened, but even before COVID, I was in this town tumecheza mziki for quite a while. Then I came up with an online radio, and thank you so much for Dan Hongo pia najua. Yeah, ni mse those are among the guys wenye walikuwa wanaona vision, walikuwa wanajua yo this is the right way to go. But out of all those people, out of all the youths in Bungoma, nilianza hiyo kitu at my place. Guys would come after a week, mtu anakwambia ni aje mshahara hakuna kitu na nini.
You haven't made any money?
Nothing man, nothing. Even from other the local guys at shops nini, ungeenda at supermarket sponsorship wanashanga wanatuambia nini. We even went to the county, we spoke to them, we sold the idea to them and how it would be a good thing for even the rest of the guys, because we were not, I wasn't doing it for myself. I was doing it for guys who are into arts and all that. But hiyo support man, kupata wase wanaweza share vision na wewe ni ngumu. So nika try, but what I thank God for ni kuwa the experience that I got through the whole thing. Hiyo tukianza kuset up Aj Radio, tukianza kustream, because kulikuwa na time watu wanatuambia nani ata stream radio, nani ana bundles, all those things ni vitu we were doing research and countering people's feedback on the whole idea behind Aj. But ilikuwa ngumu sana kuuza. So music wise
so you're creating something that people are consuming, but hakukuwa na financial benefit or even
none at all.
And probably how did that affect you, because now you've come up, you've said that there were no opportunities in the first place for the creative space in ulikuwa ndani as a DJ. How now did you invested into the platform? Of course a lot of money, it's a digital space, a streaming space. Ilikuwa affect aje wakati sasa umeweka investment watu wanakuhitaji na uwezi sustain anymore? What did you turn into, like how did you deal with that particular situation?
Yo, it's bad man, because first of all unakuwa accused of a lot of things, that you are getting money and it's like you're not sharing anything, because watu wakishaona Aj wako na app, jamaa wako na do, na nani yako na app na anakosa do.
Yes,
kumbe ni mtu kada Hongo ameona ase tukishikana hii kitu inaweza enda mbali. So out of all that unapata wale watu walikuwa wanakuona vizuri, ni unaweza waita marafiki kidogo, inakuwa mseme kula do yetu, si ndio? Unaona, so I used to DJ, ndio unapata kwa DJing ndio naleta Aj, na DJing unapata pia ilipi pase, cause I was just starting, so siati nilikuwa na make a killing out of the whole thing. And I also have other bills, I have rent and stuff, I also have to live.
Yes.
So inakuingiza into a certain space yenye uwezi taka kukua.
Let me, because now tunaongea the mental health na umenipeleka kwa space. I'd like you to tell me the expectations nilikuwa nazo ukianzisha hiyo Aj Radio. Once you started seeing things were not working out, ilikuwa affected psychological and probably emotionally as a person, because it takes time and resources to put that up. Probably once you're putting it up, what were your expectations? And then as a creative, once that innovative idea didn't work, how did you handle?
So first of all, I'd say the idea worked, because we did what we had to do, and I even saw other people come and copy what we were doing, meaning it was a good thing. Only that hakukuwa na njia kuisustain. Anyway, to your question, nilijipata niko place yenye sina marafiki, wale nilikuwa nao very very few people, very few individuals ndio bado nilikuwa nao, the real ones, and out of that nikasema, since this thing looks like it can't work here in Bungoma, probably we can take it out of Bungoma. So we tried pushing it into Nairobi because my partner Alex mwenye tulianza naye alikuwa sasa ndo amekam pia yeye ameingia Nairobi. So kwa hiyo harakati tukiangalia pia Nairobi ingekuwa quite expensive for us because huko nilikuwa naifanyia kwangu nini and all that. But Nairobi creatives are ready, but now space the issue. And space, we all know that Nairobi has less space, mtu anakupimia per foot. So that was a huge challenge. So from hiyo experience yenye nilipata urge, nikasema hii kujaribu kupush vitu mbili kidogo itakuwa tricky. Now let me just focus on music. But nayo music pia haikulast sana because entertainment sector ya Bungoma unapata, I'll confidently say that since Martini hakuna Club Martini, hakuna any other investor mwenye amekuja na akaset up kitu na akasema these are our standards, this is the bare minimum for this club. So wakati Martini ilikuwa inaanza kushuka, nikaanza kujiuliza then what next?
Probably you're asking us what next, but before we go to what next, nataka thank you. If you're just tuning in, this is Voices of Bungoma. I'm having a chat with DJ Vycek. I'm ukipenda Vycek Sitati. He's a broadcast engineer, a DJ from Bungoma, and he has a lot of experience around the creative space. He's also an entrepreneur. Ananiambia he did Urge Radio, and he's also sharing his experiences. So I'd like to move the conversation further. Umeongea juu ya friends disappearing, umeongea juu ya finances, the financial constraint. Those are also issues that are affecting your mental well-being on a day-to-day. Because you have to live, you have to forge relationships, you have to also sustain those relationships. So my question to you will be, in that space, how did it affect your day-to-day, let's say, social interactions, family relationships, now probably even your personal relationships? When things started going under, it affected your space?
It was bad, man. But luckily for me, I'd say, nilikuwa na machines kwa hao. So always I would go back to music, always. But ni mbaya cause ile do yote savings ungepata kwa DJing, ulikuwa umeka kwa ikitu na haiingizi do. You get? Yet people expect you are making money. So unapata pia wakati pale club kumeanza kufifia. The guys have been in the business for more than 2 years. Other clubs are coming up, and like we all know, Bungoma club ingine ikikam, people shift. So I was like, no, I'm also not going to shift because a new club is coming. Let me just keep focusing on the art and nikitafuta nje. So ile pesa kidogo nilikuwa na save, unapata uliingiza kwa ads, una sasa ndo hata ya kujishi. Hauna mtu wa kupigia kumwomba hiyo pesa. Cause unapata only the real ones, mtu kama Papa Ejilo ndo unapata. Jamaa kwao ni hapa, lakini mnahangaika pamoja kutafuta do ya kukula.
Yes.
Mtakunywa strong tea na mandazi, man. Relax. Call it a day. So inakuingiza kwa space ingine, unauliza why me?
Yes.
Why can these people just see this dream na to push? Because I can't do it alone. I already know that for sure. But again, ni life. Sasa out of that ndio tukapata tumejipush to other spaces.
Yes, we will shortly get into those other spaces. This takes me to the next question now. In the DJing space, where unaweza kuwa ulikuwa na support system, but you have seen a rise in cases ya young people in the creative space wakiaga. We are seeing a rise in cases of suicide, and also it's getting harder even to convince people that your career trajectory is in the creative space. What are some of the ways that unaweza ambia probably someone who is starting out in the entertainment space or the creative space, things that they should look out for to be able to have to be level-headed wakienda ama to manage the expectations, wakiingia in the creative space. What are some of the things unaweza advise someone who's starting out kwanza?
So first of all, don't have expectations, man. That's the first thing. Just don't have expectations.
Why shouldn't you have expectations?
Okay. My question would be, why are you doing whatever you're doing? That would give you all the answers. Because if nimeanza kufanya live because niliona Abel anafanya, then I'm in the wrong thing, man. I'm just doing the wrong thing kabisa. But for me, what pushed me because you won't take away music from me. You can't. Mimi mwenyewe nilijaribu kupush off muziki, lakini haiwezekani. Ni kitu iko ndani yako. So if you are an actor now, you really feel yo mazemi lazima ni act ndo ni feel fit, then hapo your passion for starters ndo itakuje wherever you want to go. Lakini if you are doing it for other reasons, ati nimesikia YouTube inalipa mse ase wajakwambia how long it takes ndo hiyo YouTube ianze kulipa, you get.
So number one, don't have expectations.
Don't have expectation. Number two is passion.
Yes.
Over everything, man. Yeah. I don't think there is a shortcut to it. Because me mix for how long? Years, man. Then there's a time I had ili motivate sana. I was just listening to DJ Exclusive, and he said not Exclusive, Fully Focused, and I really follow him so much. Now listen, for a DJ it will take you up between 8 to 10 years ndo ufike peak. I was like, mimi nishashika bungoma, man. Kumbe sio hivyo, man. Ukishatoka huko nje watu wakujui. Yeah, so you have to put in.
You have to be passionate about it and put in time.
And invest in yourself, because mimi ningeamka dano wanaweza kwambia alikuwa anakaa kwangu tuko kwa Dex. Any other time stima mimi kitu ingenikosea ni stima kupotea. Because any other time uko kwa Dex, and the more you practice the better you become, man. Ni kama footballers. Uwezi lala useme mimi nangoja niitwe mani na nani. Watu wanaanza kutrain wakiwa watoto. Mtu at 12 ako na train. So you have to invest in yourself as a DJ. You have to invest in equipment. You have to invest in skills. Yeah, you have to learn, because saizi DJing grow, man. A lot of competition.
Now, the reason I asked you what would be advice to someone who is looking to get in, you've given me two key issues. Yeah. You've told me that someone has to be passionate, and two, they shouldn't have expectation, and mostly based on someone else's success.
Exactly.
Now, there's the issue of social media platforms. They have come up. There's a virtual reality that has been created.
Yeah.
Now, in effect, the most affected group are creatives and entertainers. That is the most affected group. How does someone who is coming in that sees success as success as kiki, or creating, we saw there's a gentleman who created drama around Jalango Sana. There are those people are using every possible fabricated story to stay relevant. And this has beyond the effects beyond just the story, that psychologically kuna watu wana consume even they believe that to be truth. For you as a creative, we may keep aje clear of such a situation that now I'm in this creative space, this is how I'm going to keep my sanity. What are your tools of keeping sane even in the age of social media where everything is almost fake?
That's a really good question. And social media manze inakula both sides, both the good and the bad. Unapata an example ni unaweza enda kuomba gig mahali, mwambie bu Instagram yako 1000 followers,
ujafika,
itakuwa ngumu.
Yeah.
Kuna mse alianza a year or 2 years ago, wamenunua followers, akona 10k followers, wanasema this our guy.
DJ mnamo.
Yeah, ndo msi. So unapata ile experience wewe uko nayo hauta compare na huyo jamaa. Then the other thing ni mimi personally, what I did is nilijiuliza kama Instagram ni ya nani, nimeandika DJ Vycek, then let it be about DJ Vycek. Isikuwe ni now Sitati ule wa home. I'll visit places lakini utaona nimepost. Na unajua huko ndo tunapata pressure mob. Huko ndo watu wana get dragged into depression, into mental health, now that we're talking about it. Because naona huyo Abel last week alikuwa sijui Kampala. Tena this week naona sijui ameenda sijui wapi. Unaona? Sasa wewe unataka kuwa shida yangu. Yet we living two different lives, unaona?
Yes.
Sijui, maybe wewe traveling is your job, is part of your job. Mimi,
but social media does not say that.
It doesn't say that. Wewe when you are posting, wewe ulikuwa sijui kwa hoteli gani Kampala. Nashaka kwani mzetu ulikuwa naye hapa Bungoma. Mbona mimi siwezi nini? You see,
what am I doing wrong?
Yeah. Now naanza kujicompare na wewe hivyo. Na ni pressure kwangu. Naanza kusema nilirogwa watu wa.
But the question itakuja ni kwamba people say fake it till you make it. Na watu wanasema even recently one of the very influential creative Eric Omondi came out na akasema Kenyans don't have enough entertainment, hakuna kiki ya kutosha, that's why Tanzania wanatushinda. And you're saying it's also becoming a way that social media influencers nini wanatumia, that the only way to be successful is fake kwamba uko na Range Rover, fake that you've been in Dubai, fake that you're making crazy money and all these things. And of course they open another space that now creatives are getting into.
Yeah. But unajua hiyo kiki it's not for everyone. I'll give you an example. Like the biggest East African artists, naweza sema ni Sauti Sol, yeah? How often do you see Sauti Sol na kiki? Sijui. Only that wife ya Bien anaitwa kiki, lakini ni when umeona ati kuna something, kuna kasaga fulani Sauti Sol wana nini, ama they are trying to, ati they are shooting a new song, usikie wamefanya nini. Rarely you get. Mimi naamini ukiamini craft yako and you've invested in your craft, just do your thing. Hizo vitu zingine zote zitakama. But ukianza kuderail ati through kiki, sijui nidanganye nimenunua range na nakupigia kesho Abel manze nimekwama nisaidie 2,000 niongezee kwa rent. Haitusaidii, bado utarudi huko chini tu. Just be the real you, yeah? Instagram pasendo imetupea hii pressure mingi. Cause nataka kujicompare na mtu fulani. Pia mimi nataka niende Watamu, niweke picture. Pia mimi nataka niseme nina date sijui nani. But at the end of the day, okay. Kuna wase ina work for. TZD, siwezi sema wanatumia kiki sana. Those guys work hard, man. Look at their videos, look at their production. Angalia mse how long they are taking to even just to release songs. And compare to what our artists are doing. It's just way below the bar, man. So tuwezi sema ati TZD wamedepend on kiki or anything, but those guys work hard. Even Ugandans, they work so hard. Ugandans, I work in a media station. I'd say like one of the biggest entertainment media company in Africa, I could say. Yeah, na unapata no Kenyan artist pays for their music to be played. But guys, someone in Nigeria is just paying muziki yake ichezwe Kenya. Ipewe airtime. There are things called artist packs. An artist pack is where you pay a station, then muziki yako inakuwa exclusively inachezwa certain times. Inapewa rotation. Slots. Yeah, several slots. Na inapushiwa socials. Unapata mtu from Uganda is paying $1,000 for their music to be played. Unapata mtu from Tanzania is sending their music for exclusivity. Anasema you release the music, then I will post it on my socials after you've played it for even like a week. No Kenyan artist wants that. Mtu ana 100K. Sinda shoot video, hizo ni video mbili. That's our mentality.
Okay. Now, you've given umetupea money on the artist and the creative side. But for us to coexist in that space, there's the policy side, there's the government side. And before we started this interview, you're explaining to me why it's going to be even harder to be a DJ in Kenya, to be a content creator in Kenya. Probably, if you wouldn't mind, could you just take us through that and probably what's happening in that space?
Yeah, so hapo nyuma tulikuwa na issue na wasanii majorly, issue na MCSK, Zocam Priest, and then the bodies were merged. So after hiyo merger ili take place, waka come up na gavana ikagundua kuna ase wanafanya live streams, kuna ama DJ. So wakaenda waka create tariffs for the whole camp risk body, hiyo yenye walimerge. So unapata currently the revised tariffs ati for a DJing, I'll just touch a few classes zenye nimeona. Unapata ati a DJing academy, you're supposed to have a license of 3,000. Then for you as a DJ, for me as a DJ, I'm supposed to have an annual license worth 20,000 shillings. So mimi naangalia DJ wa hapa Bungoma ameenda kucheza disco Matanga mahali, he's being paid probably like 1,000, 2,000, 1,000. Yeah, it's happening.
Yes.
So license ya 20,000 anatoa wapi? First of all, issue yangu mimi ni nani alikaa kaamua ma DJ walipe 20,000. For you to have an online TV, the government is just making it even harder that you're supposed to have to pay like a license ya almost 300,000
as a media entity.
As a media entity, and you're only streaming, you're using unatumia internet na uko na simu, but uende ulipe license ya 300,000 unatoa. Probably ukipewa hiyo 300,000 yote utainvest kwa equipment. Na hata hiyo ndo the capital una need kuanza the whole thing, lakini umeambiwa ukate license ya up to 300,000. It really doesn't make sense. So unapata hizo policies zase wanakaa wanaunda, creatives hawako involved at all. But I'm hoping that now that tuko na creatives in the government, in the parliament, in our parliament, I hope ni wasepia wataingia washikwe na hiyo pepo inapanga kwa hiyo nyumba.
Pengine vumesema hizo licenses ina affect aje kama wewe DJ, probably what are the already effects za hiyo decision? Unajua kuna decision maker jaya understand that probably there is someone amekaa kwa system for long, they understand how that creative space kutoa hiyo license ya kushoot in a town. For example, I'm happy that Bungoma hatuna uhitaji kutake license kushoot anything within the county. But there are counties even like Nairobi lazima ukuwe na license ya kushoot kwanza. Lazima ukuwe na hizo MCSK nini zote, all those licenses, and still you have to pay again 20,000. Just back to the theme of mental health. How what is the way forward? Because politically or in the policy space tushafungwa. You cannot create content unless, like now for me I have to pay 300,000 beginning whichever date they will pay for me to be online as I am right now. For you have to pay 20,000 and the DJ Academy.
Exactly.
How does that end up affecting us socially, even mentally? Because this is now an industry for young people. What do you see are going to be the basic the side effects that this particular government decision?
Ni noma sana kwa sababu unapata creatives wote, for you to show people whatever you're doing, first of all you need equipment. Na hakuna equipment ya creatives yenye naweza sema ni cheap. Hakuna, hata ile imetoka China bado it still requires ujivute kidogo. Any other segment unataka kuingia in the arts industry, then bado unani slap na other figures. Inakuwa tena ni mandatory for me kukuwa tena na kitu kama license. Thank God mtu kama Sakaja ameingia juzi na scrap off mambo ya licenses kupiga pictures, videos around Nairobi. It's really a good thing, and I join encourage so many other young guys to venture into the same. But you see now that's only Nairobi, na maybe hapa Bungoma hatuna. what of other counties? Ingekuwa fiti, I would say government iangalie before they create those policies. Cause who ni mse ana try ku
make
a living. Yes. Na through hiyo kitu anafanya ana avoid vitu mob. Unapata now that we talking about this, probably tungekuwa hatuna shughuli, tungekuwa kwa vitu zingine, but it's another way ime create employment kwa hawa wasiwa young na all the other creatives, but hakuna support ya serikali. The first thing gava ingesema hata hawa sawa, tuwezi chukuliwa wote, wachukue watu wameingia the big guys when wamefanya content creation for long, ichukue some of them wakae waseme yo, ama even public participation, yo tunajua you're doing these things, because hizi vitu zimetupata juzi. Hii streaming nini, mimi nikianza streaming watu walisema nani ata stream bundles, and Kenya we are lucky because we already have 5 undersea cables, na internet is cheap. Ask anyone else mwenye ametembea Africa, utasikia Kenya manze tuko mbele sana. Internet is so cheap, and it's going to be cheaper because we have the 6th undersea cable, which is 5 times faster than the first 5 cables.
Wow.
We currently have, and the cable is already there, so it means internet inaendelea kukua cheaper. So just to empower this, ama to empower us content creators, ni tukue tu involved in policy making, because hizo vitu una struggle client kukulipa pekee, mtu kukuambia
ni vizuri. You've actually gone kwa hiyo kunieleza juu ya struggle client kulipana nini, but kuna issue is first industry. Watu wanasema maybe ukika hizi licensing na nini is a way of regularization. But when will someone, you're talking about Kenya, when will someone who has 6,000 artists, when will they get to the table to be able to feed off the revenue, the money they've put in? Umetaja vizuri ukasema kwamba there are all these needs that counties have put up. So I can't just remove that. But what is the formula? How do we quantify, or what are the laws do you feel that should be put in place so that artists akuja kuperform, uwezi kataa kumlipa, umweke kategori moja na useme huyu ni kucheza tu muziki? Because if you look at issues, when you've been speaking, the issues that bring up this mental health issues, ni kuanzia ina build up. And probably what are some of the key issues in your DJ? What are you take in your space when you are DJ? What are some of the most frustrating situations ulipitia ndani?
Nikupatie example kama saizi Nairobi. Unapata clubs, umeenda club, mostly imekuwa affect the areas of Kilimani. So you are a DJ umeitwa, you are just a guest DJ umeitwa.
Yes.
Uko una mix, makarau wanakam, wewe ndio unachukuliwa. Unasikia mambo ya kelele, noise pollution, nema nini.
As a DJ,
wewe ndio unakuwa arrested. So many DJs have been arrested, man. So many guys unashikwa, unaenda ndani. Unapata ile do watu walikuwa wanacheza hiyo gig na pesa nyaja mwana kuitisha. As it makes sense. Yet ingekuwa ni responsibility ya club. Look for the club manager. Ask them, because PS yako kwa club anasikiza, they know our music is not to surpass certain decibels. Kama mwambie the guest DJ, yo usipitishe muziki hapa.
But most of the time is the DJ who carries the budget.
Yeah. Na mwenye unapata clubs, hata hakuna club inatoa msee huko. Just the other day, I won't mention names, but we saw quite a big name in the DJing industry aki on an online war with one of the clubs in Nairobi. Unatukanana, unapata ukitoka home unasema nimeenda job, familia inajua umeenda kazini. They expect when unakuja tutasikia sijui mtoi kesho hana rent tumesort, mwenye club anakuangaisha. So uko na stress, ukienda club uko na photographer, you have a small crew,
you're branding yourself,
wenye wanakutegemea, nyumbani wanakutegemea. So nifike club unanisumbua kwanza kunilipa. Nikirudi home pia kuna watu wananitegemea, and it's all off whatever I'm doing. Mind you, nishacheza, ushaunda doa yako, but mimi kunilipa yangu inakuwa ngumu. So the major thing yenye tuko nayo, hata hawa wasi wengine, hata artists tu hapa, mtu anakuambia hiyo ni aje kama mimi nitakupea platform ya nini, man? I've been doing this thing for over 8 years. I don't need a platform right now, yeah. Just pay me. Sitaambia landlord
Tunaunda platform.
Yani ngoja rent.
Yeah.
So kitu ina lack sana.
Yes.
Talent management.
Thank you for highlighting that. If you're just joining us, we on Voices of Bungoma, and today we are having a chat with DJ Vycek, or we can refer to him as Vycek Sitati. He's a broadcast engineer, he's a DJ, he started off in Bungoma, but right now he's doing a lot in the creative space in Nairobi. Now, right now he's telling us some of the challenges that DJ wanna go through and how it affects their mental health. Remember, today is the World Mental Health Day, and we're trying to create awareness on how the creative space is affected in terms of mental health, being a sort of an informal sector. And probably from this conversation, you might be able to learn a thing or two on how to deal with those situations when you find yourself in as a DJ or as any other creative. So probably your takeaway on this, what would you advise someone who is in a very tight spot? All they're depending on is their music or their acting or their poetry to survive, and it's not working out. Probably, are there support systems any artists wanaweza tumia or that you've been exposed to? Or what can you advise an artist who's finding themselves that they can no longer do this and there's no way out? And probably the solution they're looking at is way detrimental to them and those around them.
Yeah, so I thank God for the internet, because right now I believe most artists wanajua about distribution, publishing, all those things, yeah. Whereby before you would get into a record label, they tell you, yeah, we are investing this in you, we will distribute your music, and we will collect the revenue that the music makes. So watu wengi walikuwa wanasema record labels inaua talents and all that, but what we keep forgetting ni kuwa huyo mtu wa hiyo record label ameinvest in you for you to start making money, and usually it's not like ni leo na kesho umeunda. We remember the case of Harmonize akitoka Wasafi. He had to pay some money because there was a contract involved. Whoever who brought you to Wasafi, I mean, invest in you, you've been doing shows, they've been recording, they've even created the image yenye unatumia saizi. So that's a whole huge investment. Ambapo as an artist, as a talent, wengi mostly artists wa kuimba, wengi hawaelewi kuwa mtu ameinvest in the same. Ni biashara mwisho wa siku. So as I said, I thank God easy distribution platforms is readily available. As you keep producing your music, you just subscribe to one, they'll distribute your music for you, and hakuna middleman hapo katikati. Ni wewe una upload as a creator, they'll publish. Publishing is just basically collecting revenue on your behalf. But still, even with those platforms, bado unapata there's a percentage they take because they are doing the job for you, yeah. So naweza sema hiyo imekuwa fiti because most people are taking it upon themselves to push their craft. So as a creator, kitu naweza sema ni, first of all, it will take time for you to make money, and for you to make money as an artist, you also have to invest in your craft. You have to shoot proper videos. You have to make good music, just proper audio, produced music. See, unaenda beat 30 minutes, umerecord, unataka utoe, then ikuingizie do. It's not easy that way. Sijaona mtu anafanya hivyo na ikakuwa fiti. It will have to take time, and you will have to invest. Yeah, so ni kitu major naweza ambia as an artist ni usitegemee. Unajua so many artists wenye wanafanya biashara, wanafanya mtu kama Bien ameshafungua club sasa hizi, just to mention wase wengi sana wako na
side hustle.
Yeah. Mimi ningesema so many DJs manze tuliona during COVID, when COVID hit, wase wengi walikuwa depressed, wase walienda home. Juu unafanya nini? An example ya Gengeton, yeah. Gengeton was on its peak, man. Why? Because boy wange come clubs tuna interact now. So wange make do mob sana, na venye Kenya tunajua mziki tulikuwa tunasema hailipi because people were not streaming music back then. Mtu anakuambia sina bundles. No one would see the benefit of paying for a streaming platform. But right now I know guys are doing it. So usikwame kwa hiyo kitu moja.
Learn to pivot.
Yeah, learn kujua na kukiwa kuna huku kama sisi wote hawa artists wote wengi wamesoma. So you can always go back to ile knowledge ya kwa chuo ufanye kitu kingine. Na personally me hiyo ndo kitu ile niokoa during that period of COVID. Because I remember I moved out of Bungoma when COVID was at its peak. I think it was in June hapo. Na COVID ilikam March. So ilikuwa imeshika, the whole country was under lockdown. And that's the time I left Bungoma. Na kitu ile nitoa huko ni all the time I invested kwa Urge. Hiyo knowledge yote niliacquire during Urge. Hiyo ndio ilinipeleka Nairobi. Hiyo ndio ilinipea kazi Nairobi. And sikuumia sana during COVID kwa sababu ya hiyo skill tu yenye niliacquire before. So ningesema ni DJ pekee tungekaa tu for 2 years tungoje clubs ifunguliwe. Yeah. So
always the message from DJ Vycek anasema beyond being a DJ, work on having more skills so that when the tough times come, as a DJ you don't go ufike on the edge. This is Voices of Bungoma. I'm here with Vycek Sitati and we are having a chat on mental health and the creative space. As we wrap this up, I'd like just to probably share a couple of things. We've come about, my mental health is a social, psychological well-being of a person. Veona feel ni muhimu sana. And if you're feeling that you're low, if you're feeling that vitu haziwork, there's always people you can talk to. There are helplines, there are places you can always reach out for help. And I believe the government, the Ministry of Health has set that up, the World Health Organization, all those platforms are providing services for you so that you are not alone in your suffering. It's not easy for young people. The spaces are getting crowded, the opportunities are getting less, but we can always have a mental health country or county if we engage each other. This is Voices of Bungoma. I'm Abel Simiu, and it has been an honor, sir, to have you. Your second guest since we started off, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to chat and share more as days go by.
Definitely.
You can always find us on our social media platform. That's on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and I believe on TikTok. Yes, on TikTok, all the platforms. Voices of Bungoma. Interact with us. Let us know issues that you like to share. We are open to talk to anyone who has something that will change any other person's life. So don't be afraid. Get chatty. Talk to us. On YouTube, you can always, after this, you'll find this show on YouTube. You can always go back and listen to us. And probably Vycek, what social media platforms on Zapata?
Me ni DJ Vycek too, and Vycek is Vycek. Facebook ni Vycek Sitati, Instagram DJ Vycek, Twitter the same, TikTok the same, DJ Vycek.
Thank you so much.
Shukran.
Asante sana for coming. As always, you should listen, speak, and be heard. So, here on Voices of Bungoma, let's chat next time, and always remember to be good to others and be mentally healthy. Kama una issue, una feel uko mbaya, always reach out to the people, and I think our producer will be able to put down some contact lines that you can be able to reach out in case you are facing any situation on with regard to mental health. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, asante sana.